What's going on, Duels? ThePokeRapper here. Sorry it's been so long since my last video. I've been typical waves, right? Up and down, focused on other stuff, a little down in the dumps, a little anxious, just different, stuff that I'm working on and working towards. But I'm always playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't worry about that. I'm always gaming, even if it's on an alt and I'm not visible to the community or to everyone. If no one knows that I'm playing, don't worry. I most likely still am. I just don't want to have too much attention brought to myself for whatever reason. But Nationals just happened. Congratulations to Bronte, I believe his name is. Where is he? There he is. There he is. But how am I going to pass by Beast Mode? Yo, shout out to Beast Mode, man. I mean, who's better than Adam, right? Who's better than Beast Mode himself? So I've been using Hero Frogs a lot online. I feel like 10 Foot's list is one that is very polished, very defined. I feel very safe with that deck. And I'm always happy to try new decks when they start coming around the woodwork. So obviously Hero Frogs have been around for a while, and I've wanted to enjoy that deck, but I never really could. And now I kind of have been a lot more. And then as I'm enjoying that deck and also kind of losing with it at the same time, I feel like now people are just super prepared for it because it's everywhere. Nationals happens, and we got some Glads. We got, of course, Adam always killing. Looks like that was a side event he went undefeated in. We got Glad's top forward, but this is the deck. This is one that James Ark has a hand in. I feel like he has a hand in pretty much like every S-tier deck between Vayu Turbo and Frog stuff. I mean, his resume is just endless. He is one of the best, if not the best, Edison player, and no surprise, Bongo Boys won the first War League last season, right? Season 1. I mean, those boys get down. They are very, very good players. All the micro plays, the deck building, like from top to bottom, they are no joke. And if you want to get good at the game, I'd be watching what they're doing too, because they really are on a different level. Obviously a lot of players are on a different level, but they're doing something that's very, very right. And to be super consistent as they are, that team is, as he is, my hats are off to him and to them, and they are just very elite when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! So I saw this list, and I am just so happy that a deck like this won, because any deck, I'll use Blackwings as an example because I feel like that is the quintessential Edison deck that a player just getting back into Edison or doesn't really, I don't want to say mess around with the other decks, but if you just get back into Edison, you're like, oh, what should I play? Oh, Blackwings. I remember Blackwings. That's like a very safe pick. It's a deck that lets you play very aggressively, and you don't really get punished for it all the time. So I think a lot of high-level players down to low-level players both enjoy using the deck because, one, it's like just, I've said it a million times how good Blackwings are, but I think for the low end of that scale, I think a lot of players get good results, but they don't really get punished by their misplays too much because the deck has a way of kind of carrying players, and I think that draws a lot of appeal to that deck. And I'm not saying that deck doesn't have room to have some crazy skill, because a high-level player piloting that deck will do some crazy stuff with it. Obviously, the micro plays that need to be made, I opened Whirlwind Kalute Heavy. Do I want to just slam this going first so I could add a Gale or a Blizzard to my hand, but then I might have to heavy my own card? Do I hold it so I could heavy first and then secure, the Whirlwind going off and potentially getting a bigger plus, but then I'm risking my opponent committing to the board and maybe disrupting that? Do I set 2 back row? Do I set 1? Do I set none? Do I commit this to the board? Like, just the micro plays of Yu-Gi-Oh! Are what make it so amazing to me and why I'm so in love with the game. And there's a lot of room for error within all of those micro plays. So when I see a deck like this win the Edison National Time Wizard Tournament, it makes me so happy, because this is definitely a big brain deck where 2 Fishborg Blaster, Desfrog, the triple dupe. If you haven't seen James's video on his idea behind this deck, I highly recommend it. Basically, Substitute is goated, right? Substitute is the best card, and if you get a dupe lock, you're in a really good spot. Once the dupe lock is broken, your opponent can kind of play, but if you get a second dupe lock out, which you can because of Pot of Avarice in this deck, it's pretty hard to get through dupe lock more than once in a game. I mean, it's possible, but excuse me, it's pretty darn annoying, and you're looking at the kid that's played Diva Frogs probably more than anyone else, so I love Frog Trickery. I love Flip Flop Frog. I love Unifrog. I've never played Triple Dupe, maybe once or twice, but I love being able to play Triple Dupe. And Fishborg is so cool. Unfortunately, it doesn't work with swap, so you have to, get it to the graveyard other ways, but it's so doable. And being able to abuse this card with Substitute and just set up all the frog tricks in the frog locks with Uni, gets the back row out of the way, Flip Flop keeps the monsters off the field, and they're just, Colossal Armor Arm doesn't come up too much, but it is a thing. And being able to just synchro, you have all these water monsters that Fishborg gets down with junk is so good. Love the trap lineup. Absolutely love Salvage. There are very few cards in Edison format that are just a +1. Get to target what you're getting back. Very versatile. Double Pot of Avarice. It's like super free in this deck because Substitute is the GOAT. So being able to abuse Substitute so easily, Pot of Avarice is usually free. And again, the trap lineup, I love the discarding cards, getting Fishborg out of your hand, getting water monsters out of your hand that can easily be salvaged back or comboed off with Substitute and whatnot. Dust Shoot's insane. I mean, I don't think I have to go through how good this is, right? Staples like Torrential Mirror Force, discards. One Legacy kind of intrigues me a little bit. But I love Legacy, so I'm not really going to question the masterminds behind it. Heavy MST, BrainCon's insane. 1-for-1, obviously. You want to bring out some. And even in the side deck, I still think Crow's a really good side card. I really undervalued how good Kaiku is, especially with all the Hero Frog stuff out now. I mean, if your opponent summon swap, bounce back, pass, and you just summon Kaiku and swing, that is crazy. Even though if you're playing Hero Frogs, they have like Gores, maybe Trag, Stratos, Alias. They could just summon and get over it, but like, I feel like Kaiku is super disruptive and it's a good body, and I actually really like this card. Double Vanity's Fiend, this is just, 2 is the absolute minimum. This card in the Frog Mirror is like the card. Love Light and Darkness Dragon. I think there are too many value and frog decks running around to main this right now. If you main this and you play against anything that isn't one of those decks or anything that has, Honest or anything that just like destroys this very quickly, I think it's pretty easy win. Vortex really good for the mirror with Vanity's Fiend for a bunch of different stuff, Fossil Dyna and whatnot. Love Soul Exchange, very important for the mirror match to get their vanities off the field. I love Water Art Aoi. Aoi, we're going to pronounce it that way. The second Dust Shoot, except it goes to the graveyard and it doesn't have to be a monster. It could be anything. That is just insane. I really like this card. I don't like that it's a -1 because usually you're doing a turn 1 with Swap Frog, but I think it's kind of worth it because one, you're getting your Treeborn in the grave with Swap anyway, which is the ultimate +1. Thank you very much. And so you're getting that minus back, and you're getting all the knowledge, and you're getting a card out of their hand. Double D Prison, super sneaky. Very good for Blackwings, very good to get Vanity's Fiend and Monarchs off the board because most of the time if they're dropping a Monarch, they're not targeting a back row. Most high-level players will always go for the safe bet monster. D-Prison, super good. And Double Dust Tornado. Also, what needs to be said about Dust Tornado, get the Whirlwinds off the field, get the Mask of Restricts, the Oppressions, the pulling the rugs, everything that sits on the field that's annoying and clears up the face downs that are still a mystery. Extra deck won't get into. Junk's good. Double Armory Arm's good. This is a little spicy. I think the Psychic Life Transfer. Life Trancer. I haven't pronounced this card in many years. But yeah, in you know, Dueling Book's been a little interesting lately. It's been a little chippy lately, I will say, and it hasn't been amazing playing online because some of the toxicity I've noticed, but I think that's also why I use an alt account now, because sometimes, I don't know, I just don't want all the attention on me if I'm, the ThePokeRapper's playing, it's a serious match, and then someone's playing like a jerk off, and then you gotta be like, dude, come on, like, I don't know, or like calling me for taking too long, or I'm calling them. It's just, I hate the negativity that the game has in it sometimes, when people act like jerks, and then you gotta try to like be cool about it. I just would rather be like, mask on, just like play the game, please, like no BS, and no negative attention will come with that, regardless of if I'm right or wrong or anything. Like, yeah, a lot of weird altercations online, and it's kind of frustrating. And whenever I get into one that I feel is my fault at all, or if I make my opponent upset, I literally will like message them after the game because I feel badly and apologize. And even if it's like kinda on them, I'll still be like, man, it's all love. Like, I didn't want any harsh feelings. We're just trying to play the game. It's like, it's just an online game, and no one else thinks like that. I picture like thousands and thousands of like Call of Duty people just swearing at each other, or younger me playing Halo 2 and just like cussing everyone out. But I don't want that now. I just want love for everybody. Please be nice to each other. Please, so much, please. All right. So with that being said, I don't know how many live games we're gonna play, but let's go through a couple replays real quick. Excuse me. Starting with Roy 1998. Roy 1998 is at 586. We're pretty deep now in the season, I think. So 558's not great. I'm at 826. I think I got this account on the ladder for a little bit. I was chilling at close to like 1,000 or something. So that was pretty cool to have two different accounts on the ladder at the same time. Neither of which being the ThePokeRapper. It was my account Ryo and Lemon Man. Yum! So, I better say good luck back. I better say that back. I'm sure I did. Okay. Yeah, see, try a new deck. Sorry, this is big brain deck and yada yada. So let's not take an hour to go through this, right? They set a monster, send Treeborn, pass, the best, right? Not committing. Hopefully it's not Reaper, Arabellum, anything like that. But we gotta play the game the best way we know how, right? So summon Thwop Frog and send Treeborn and pass, bring Treeborn back. Iffy, right? Because if they do have a Monarch, if they're playing that deck, then there goes a Treeborn, right? So summon swap, send another Treeborn, bring it back, set Raigeki, break, pass. Now I wanna see what they're playing. I guess that might not be worth losing a Treeborn Frog, but and setting this back row into their back row, not knowing what it is. It could just be Caius, and this is gone if that's MST, or their own Raigeki break, and they Caius and swing. But I made a decision to bring back Treeborn Frog to protect myself and get some knowledge of what they're playing. And that's actually gonna... Maybe that's not right. And feel free to correct me on anything. Not just when I'm playing a new deck, but any deck, and I always appreciate any feedback if you think I'm right or wrong. I appreciate all the watches and all the... just you guys hanging out. And I do always appreciate the feedback, even if it is using James Art's #1 Twilight ladder deck, and then having just all the argument about the dark arm targeting thing, which we won't get into. But of course, out of all the videos I upload, that has to be the one that gets 2,000 views, and all the rest of my videos get like 10. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, Treeborn Frog, just funny when something negative happens in a video and I decide to include it in there, and then that's the one that gets all the attention. You guys love the drama. We all live for the drama, don't we? It's really not that dramatic. I think I just overthink stuff like that. Alright, so here's the Caius. They tribute Treeborn and the information, and now I have an idea in mind. Sorry to digress. I have an idea in mind here, because this would be just... ooh, if we had Gores, this would be so nice to Raigeki break this back row and drop Gores, right? And they already summoned, so Gores isn't getting Kai'd, so we're just in such a good spot. But what I'm going to do here, because I want to see what's going on, and I could go over this next turn with Junk, right? And we do have to go a little minus, but it's still kind of plus, but not really if they have another Monarch. What I want to do here is not Raigeki break, because I want to see if they're going to commit another back row. And now, excuse me, we top deck the best card, right? 1 for 1, and I'm thinking of how we're going to do this now. And if you see the line, don't spoil it for everybody, because I do end up seeing the line, and I'm actually going to... I wanted to see my draw before I decide what I'm going to do with this Raigeki break, if I even want to use it to bring back Treeborn, and I certainly do, because the line at the light at the end of the tunnel is here. We bring back Treeborn, and let's go through a quick 1 for 1 pitch Fishborg Blasta. Going through, sending cards. Remember, we have a level 5 monster in our deck named Desfrog. Why is that important? Because we normal summon Junk Synchron, bring back a 2. Jeez, my throat made my agita this fucking morning, huh? We synchro with Junk and Desfrog for an 8, and now we pitch for Fishborg Blaster. 1+1+2, all water monsters is Armory Arm. We equip it to that Caius, and that is Armory Arm Colossal for game. So I said it doesn't come up too much, but the first time trying this deck, it came up very, very quickly by like turn 5 or whatever it was, and I thought that was really cool because I never really get to do that. So here we open double Fishborg, which is ass, right? Terrible. My opponent's going Super Plus, Treeborn, Vanity, Swap, Stratos. We're going to try to nullify that a little bit. I don't have a lot going on, so I'm going to overextend a little bit here. I didn't have to do that. I don't really have any protection or anything to do. I think you could yell at me to maybe set Fishborg instead. They have another Vanity's Fiend in this game. It's just like super over because I have to tribute for a guy. It's just, yeah, that's an ugly game 2 for us. Double Fishborg's no good. I probably sided one out. This is my first time playing the deck, by the way, and you're going to notice that because I think that this card right here is like Trap Dushu. Ooh, but it's not. Ooh, but it sends it to the graveyard, so feel free to butcher me in the comments because look at how good this guy's hand is, by the way. Stratos, Kai Score, Sub, Raigeki Break, Miracle. This is basically perfect, and I thought about putting Sub. Okay, 1, this sends it to the graveyard, so it's all bad, right? So maybe Miracle is the card to put back. If it's Dust Shoot, they're more likely to draw a water monster than they are a hero, right? So I'm definitely putting Stratos back. So I choose Stratos, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, it put it in his graveyard. I lose. The game is done. He's in a substitute. He has Miracle. I'm done. I'm cooked, right? Hopefully they don't overextend like that. Why would they? They don't, fortunately for me, my little pee-pee brain. They don't set the Raigeki break. I respect it. Bring back Treeborn. And we're just going to start going through everything. Thinning the deck. And this is the end board, and feel free to yell at me for this as well. Because now, if I Raigeki break, I have to get rid of the ever so wonderful brain control, but I think this is a pretty solid board as long as I don't have Soul Exchange. They can't Miracle. I mean, we know their whole hand, right? So with the knowledge, what can they really do? They can't bring back Treeborn. They elected not to set Raigeki break, so I have a shot next turn to Raigeki break their Raigeki break because they opted not to commit it to the board. Maybe just could have summoned Vanity's Fiend. Maybe didn't have to do all the other stuff. But we're thinning the deck, right? We want Pot of Avarice. We kind of have them where we want them. So if we could thin the deck now to almost halfway, we could start drawing power cards and try to get to where we got to get a little bit faster. So Rhoda, Ocean, we know their whole hand, all the info. They set 2, and now you just got to pick the right card. And fortunately for us, we do. Top deck, an absolutely amazing card that is Salvage. We know every card that they have, so we're free to just go for a little damage. pop it back. I'm even going to use Swap Frog's extra normal summon to put Dupe Frog, so now we have Dupe Lock with Vanity's Fiend, which I think is really strong. They're just sad monsters, another good draw for us. Not going to get greedy. We know Ocean's defense rate is 12, so we're not going to take 200 and then not do damage. We want to get them at a brain count range as quickly as possible. Put them at 12, bounce it back. Now, I think that this could be Swap Frog. So I'm like, alright, now I'm going to get a little bit greedy. It's not, they top deck Substitute, so we're actually going to take a stack right here. And that was kind of greedy, right? Especially with the brain control statement that I made. Probably should have just... I've been getting greedy, man. I've been getting greedy. I got real punished at locals playing Hero Frogs because of how greedy I was. I hate to say it. I was just into Mirror Force, into Torrential. Just didn't expect the Torrential. The Mirror Force I played like a jerk off to. But, yeah, so Wing Blast, we know all the info, right? So Wing Blast after game. Alright, cool. So good game to Roy. Didn't say it back. On to Silver Fangs SB or Silver Fang SSB. Are we going to go through all these matches? I don't know. Are we going to play a live one? I don't know, guys. I don't know. Okay. Oh, I don't want to see their hand. Oh, we're going to see it. We're going to see it because we got Dust Shoots. Look at this hand. This is so sick with Heavy Storm. This is insane, right? So, Lone Fire, Quick Draw, Dandy, some traps that aren't bothering us, book that's not really bothering us. I put the Dandy back. I think we could deal with Titanial, but I really don't want to deal with Drill every turn, getting back Dandy and preventing us from doing damage with that loop. So I opt to deal with the Titanial, even though we have to get rid of Caius if we want to deal with it. But look what we draw. A hero arrives for us. The absolute best card. They commit 2 to the board while we have heavy. We see the book. That's really nice to see. Would have been nice if it was book, Deep Prison, but that's just not going to happen. That'd be too good to be true. So I'm gonna set this lock up real hard now. And I'm even going to get a little greedy because I know what they have. So I don't think they're... What are they top decking that's getting this off the field, right? Even if they tribute for Caius and hit this, that's Dupe Lock. If they hit this, they have to attack this, can't be destroyed. So I feel very comfortably with 2 Dupe Frogs next to Substitute. If it was 1-1, I don't know. Now we're talking a different day, okay? But I got 2 dupes. And I got Sub next turn. Treeborn's coming back, so I can get rid of Treeborn for Unifry. I can get rid of Sub for Flip Flop. Flip Flop doesn't target the following turn. I can put Titanial in their hand. What's that doing in their hand? Nothing, right? They draw a Pot of Avarice. Good for us. They only went through 1 Lone Fire, by the way, so perfectly according to plan. They set the back row. Bada bing, they draw heavy, it's perfect. They just have Lone Fire in their grave. So they got nothing, right? They really got nothing. Torrential is still the card that destroys us. Torrential is the scariest card that this deck could probably see because of summoning swap with dupes on the field or flip flop or Caius's. I'm going for it. I want that Titanial in their hand. If they chain Torrential, then we still have, you know, Avarice, Swap Frog, Caius, Wing Blast. With the Avarice is live to their Quick Draw, Pot of Avarice, Heavy Storm. We don't know that they have Heavy Storm or Pot of Avarice, but that's okay. I think we're still in a fine spot. Boop you for 1,000. Okay to set the Wing Blast now, because Treeborn's already on the field. He's probably not going anywhere. We top deck MST, and I think this is safe because now, even if this is MST for this, we can chain the Wing Blast to the monster. If it's Legacy, that's unfortunate, but yeah, if it's MST, we could do this, get rid of Swap, Pot of Avarice, Tribute. We're in a really good spot, but I'm going to MST this now, and then Tribute Treeborn to get rid of this, swing for 24, and then flip-flop covers the Gores, right? So we have a nice out to all Gores stuff. And we even have Swap Frog next turn to put Caius back in the hand, so they're hurting right now, definitely, right? They top deck Raikou. This is the time to pot, I'm going to say. And the same thing, now we could Wing Blast it, put it back on top of the deck, summon Swap. If they have Gores, then we could flip-flop it back, and then we're going to bounce the Caius back to hand. We're just in a really good spot. So, you saw nothing. Summon Trooper, of course we're hitting a Dandelion. They also hit Heavy Storm, which is great, and Vortex, which is a really good card to see them get rid of. Foolish, a Treeborn. Okay, I respect it. I see my hand, I think about what we could do. I can Soul Exchange, get the Trooper off the field for Caius, remove the back row. I don't really want to do that. I want to save this card for a more dire situation. This deck, maybe he tributes for Drill now, or Quick Draw and Synchros. Maybe he sets a Hamster or Raikou. I feel like we're in the position where we don't waste this just yet. We don't really have the hand to do that. I also want to get junk going with this so we could Synchro for a 2, or for a 5 rather, with a 2. Debris, Titanium Debris, that's great. So he just attacks. We could check the hand too. We could check what our opponent's doing right now. Interesting. And they're sitting on a book, so yeah, they could have attributed this for Vanity's Fiend. I think getting this Fiend on the field's okay, but they're playing patient, no problem. So they don't do anything else. So I'm just gonna pick apart what I can while I can, right? Make it easy for us. Uni, attack direct, book, okay, pretty good. They have to attack this still. So, alright, no problem. Doing what we can. There's a Treeborn, gonna mill 3. There's a Vanity's Fiend Heart. So they do have the out for Dewfrog. I'm gonna search for Flip-Flop here to try to maintain that Vanity's Fiend a little bit. I draw another Soul Exchange which is super good. And I'm gonna Soul Exchange. Thought about this for a second. I'm gonna ensure we get the Trooper off the field for Caius, get the Vanity's Fiend off the field. Once this is removed, I feel like, I think that the main thought behind this was Pot of Avarice. If they pot, I don't want them drawing that Vanity's Fiend again. They already have a Dandy in there for Debris. 2 Debris are gone, so I'm not super concerned about Trooper being back there. I guess the only difference is if this is called, but I'd rather this just be out of the game, right? It can't be special summoned, so it's gone, it's gone. They're going to Soul Exchange Vanity's Fiend. And then I'm going to Soul Exchange Vanity's Fiend. So we're playing a funny Vanity's Fiend game here. They set Hamster. I'm going to summon Swap, send Treeborn, finally get that established after a bunch of turns. We get a Treeborn in the grave. So I go to run over the Hamster. Swap should have attacked. Did he already have another one that I swung at? I don't think so. Yeah, Swap definitely should have attacked that. That is a misplay on my end for sure. Use the extra normal summon to set Flip-Flop, and it works out that that's not Raikou, it's Hamster, because now... Damn, he set MST and I drew MST. If I didn't draw this, that's a scary card. I don't think it changes the play very much, but it's a little scary. But because we drew it, I'm going to play immediately. I hate when that happens because I don't want to look like a little luck sack. But now we're in a pretty damn good spot, right? And luckily that token doesn't come back to bite us in the ass, because it definitely could have. Us leaving it on the field is a stupid misplay. But now we're in a pretty good spot because... I mean, they could just summon something and attack in the flip-flop because they're not, like, super chomping at the bit yet, but, yeah, if they're going to set that Raikou, then flip-flop is kind of going to go in. So they're going to set a top deck Impulse, which is good, and we deserve that because we drew the MST. They're going to put that flip-flop right back. I'm going to salvage here. Young Swap and Young Dupe. And we know that this card is winning the game, right? We know what this is most likely. No reason to just Vanity's Fiend attack. Now I gotta, we still aren't in a good spot either way because we have junk and stuff. But this is the MVP and everything that their deck is trying to accomplish with Quick Draw and whatnot. And we have Vortex if they do put Titanium on the field for whatever reason, Pot of Avarice and whatnot. This is the game-winning card, right? And even if we have to Lightning Vortex, set Dupe, buy us a turn to get it on the field, like, we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot. So I'm going to put this back in my hand. I'll leave the lone Swap Frog to get Rhycode instead. They top deck Pot of Avarice. That's fine. They went first. They have 3 to our 7 when we draw. So we're really, really up. One of their cards is a Dandy. Always hate to see the top deck Pot of Avarice, but you kind of have to expect it, right? Because they have 0 in the graveyard. They draw another one, but they also draw another Dandy, which is ass. So unless they draw Quick Draw, and they do, I would say it's not amazing, but we're still in a fine spot at 55. Mirror Force is good. They opt to leave this on the field. They know we have Vanity's Fiend, so it's not going to come back if we opt not to attack and just put it on the field. So what I'm going to do is try to get that back row out of there first by just attacking the drill. And we attack into Mirror Force, and I'm very okay with that because now we could Vortex, and they went first. They have 3 to our 5 when we draw. They still have Treeborn. We have still 1 dupe left in the deck. We're doing okay. They summon Lone Fire. They didn't put Titanial back, so my opponent's starting to fall apart a little bit now in terms of their plays. I feel like they're kind of messing up a little bit. I don't like Titania at all, so I could see why they left it in the graveyard, but now in this position with all the Dandies in their hand, the Lone Fire didn't do much. Probably better off just setting the Dandelion right there instead of the Lone Fire. Doesn't really matter, not really. They have Deep Prison for my Vanity's Fiend. I'm going to set Young Dupers. They're getting stuff on the field, and this just took way too long, so I'm going to set... they're really falling apart here, and maybe this shouldn't be like breezed over so quickly because I set my flip-flop here. But they make Black Rose and use the effect to try to go for damage, and I'm just going to return their... I actually could have returned this too because I had Treeborn and this, so I had 2. So that was another misplay on my part, and they summon Debris, right? So they wouldn't have been able to summon, but then they brain and they think that by flipping it down they don't get it back. So just a crumbling opponent at the end, and I don't know. I feel like they could have played that a lot better. No offense to them in any way, but I think setting flip-flop was the right play for me. I didn't want to just summon an attack into anything for no reason. Yeah, let me know if you disagree with any of that. Let me know if you disagree. So those 2 I watched already. This one I haven't watched. So we're gonna see this one together. We're gonna see this one together. Welcome to a 4-hour video of watching my replays. And this is gonna be completely new to both of us, so let's have it go that way. See, this is what I'm talking about. Look at all the options you have with a hand like this. Personally, I think setting Raigeki Break is good because you could pitch Treeborn Frog. I could set Dupe Frog too. I don't have to. I don't have to set Raigeki Break. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything. But once Dupe Frog goes in the grave and gets a swap, we could pitch Treeborn to special swap to send sub, salvage it back, and then set up a crazy lock, right? So Dupe Frog going to the graveyard is advantageous for us. So I do set Dupe. And Raigeki Break. Makes sense. They upstart. Greffer, Shiro, Kavayu, oh, okay, it's the oh, I remember I played this kid, and he beat me when I was playing Hero Frogs. I couldn't do anything because he was playing stupid Norlaris. But this time, or no, I was playing Blackwings, actually. This time I'm ready to go. This time I'm prepared, because I have Treeborn Frog in my deck. So we get our swap, take our 17. So greedy. If I have Gores, unless you have Dark Arm. You have Dark Arm in there? Creator Reincarnation. No, that's greedy, dude. That's so greedy. So we draw another dupe. No good, no good. But here we go. Just like we promised, right? We got a hot little combo coming up for you right now. Probably will never need a Unifrog, right? Extra normal summon, flip-flop, boom, we're chilling, we're chilling. And they top deck another one. So, alright, no problem, no problem. Unfortunate for us, all the cards are going to the graveyard. And because he gets to draw a card with Norlaris' effect, that's the last thing that happens. We don't get duped to resolve. So we're in a top deck war with a man that has 5 darks in his graveyard. Top deck to Heavy Storm. Love to see it. Love to see it. So let's play the game, shall we? Let's play the game, dude. Oh, that probably was so loud. I apologize. Treeborn Frog. Pot of Avarice. Did I put the right cards back? Comment section. Did I? No, I'm just kidding. Did I put the right cards back? Did that very quickly. Top deck junk. Now I will be the aggressor. I could have made a 6 right here and just attacked with Goyo. And if they have Creator, they're really not doing much. Unless, if they had the Creator, they would have dropped it. I don't know if that was right. Could have made Android, left Treeborn. Could have made a 6 and swung. If it scores, then we're still fine, because we could... They have to bang out, and I rise of the Gore, sets them back a turn, but then we're kind of chilling until we draw another Monarch. Interesting play on my end here. Not sure if that's the right play. Very, very passive of me when I could have punished. So they draw a Legacy. Okay, Legacy and Heavy. And now we're just going to take it. So now we're just... I feel like we're back too much now. Even though it's 4-3, and we have Treeborn... I don't know. And now we're going to attack still into Gores if they have it, and it's a little dicey for me. I don't think they have it, so I'm playing it accordingly, and we still have the Rise of play, so let's see where they're at. Foolish Grepher Heavy. That gives them some plays. Just kidding. I guess they could have Foolish Plague, stacked Heavy, and I mean, I have Rise, so they don't really have any plays. So, alright, here's our opponent's hand. You're not supposed to see that, but there it is. Grepher, Elfin, Vayu, Norlaris, set everything. I mean, this deck's not setting anything, right? So that tells me this is probably Morphing Jar, right? That's not like a crazy read, but something to take note of. I set this before I attack, because I had a feeling. Not like I like when Morphing Jar resolves, but what am I going to do, right? So... I could have I could have done a bunch of stuff right here. If I 1-for-1 get rid of a Monarch and just start sending my whole deck, that doesn't seem too bad, because I feel like Norlaris is coming. I probably could have done that, but I didn't. I just bounced it back, set a card, and passed. My opponent draws. They're going sick. They're going sick. They're going sick. Oh, they're going so sick that they beat me right there. No problem. No problem, no problem. So game 3 against a deck that is hell to play against. What the hell kind of play is that? Definitely setting up for Pot of Avarice. I want pitch, special swap. What did I just do? You know what? This is insane. This is a YouTube video that I'm making for everyone to watch. This is insane. Okay. No, okay, I see what I did. I didn't have Substitute in my hand. Pitch, special summon, sub, boom, boom, get the sub back to our hand, make a 5. That's fine. Okay. That's a cheeky little play for you. You love to see when it's Dark Creator getting the trade-in and not Norlaris. Now, instantly in my standby phase, they're going to DD Crow. And again, this deck's not that many monsters, right? You gotta make a read. That's what it is. So, I'm gonna summon sub. Tribute for swap. I'm gonna set 2 before I swing. Bada bing. Gets rid of everything. Doesn't Rodith in the deck, rather have the cards in his hand, I guess. I draw Crow, which I'm super pleased with. Pitch Fishborg for swap. Send sub. We're going sick right now before they do anything crazy. Another Pot of Avarice with Torrential. Yeah, we're in a pretty good spot. Don't forget your 600. Value Elfin. I thought about this one, but I am absolutely hanging on to this Crow for the Norlaris push, in that I will stand by. I will Torrential this now. He's going to chain Deck Devi. I'm going to chain my Crow to Deck Devi. And he doesn't have Norlaris in the grave, so I'm just going to get the Armor Master that he tributed out of there. And, yeah, Torrential kills my monster. Now we draw a Dust Shoot, which is just insane. And, show him the Dust Shoot. Gotta hate to see that off of Deck Devi. Salvage completely gets out of the way in Deck Devi. I don't attack because I want to see the hand first, right? So, let's get some knowledge. Okay, Legacy, Reincarnation. I could speed through this, but I'd rather you guys see what's going through my head when I'm making the plays. 1, 2, 3, 4 Dark Monsters. If he reincarnates and gets rid of this, it's a 5th one. He gets Morphing Jar back. Then he has no creator. And if I put this back and he reincarnates for this, then he only has 4 again, right? So we put the Plague back. Can't get a 5th Dark in the grave. He probably will at some point, but we got him in a really tight spot right now. Or maybe we don't. He says, I don't care about that play anymore. I'm just going to put Greffer on the field and set all these cards. Unfortunate for me, I draw swap. He hits something with Deck Devi, and I think to myself now, Return's a good card. I don't want to hit Legacy, but Return's a good card. So I'm going to Brain. Should have attacked first. We know both of his cards. Definitely should have attacked first. That's a misplan on my part. I realized that very quickly after I made this play. I'm even going to Pot of Avarice into the Deck Devi. I could have waited. And that, you know, I got 1 card for it. Very risky on my part. I figured this was the time to do it, even though I think a really patient player would have waited till the next turn. I don't think we're really losing the game next turn. 2 of their Dark Creators are gone. They don't have Norlaris set up. We know they have a Legacy and a Return. The Return's not doing much. I really am like, this deck is making me feel pressured, like I have to clear all their cards, when in reality I don't really have to do that because I'm in a fine spot. Kaiku's great, but we have Fishborg in grave. Uni is gone. Oh, I sided Uni out, I think, unfortunately. I sided Unifrog out. So that's our end board. I draw 1 for 1 last turn of Deck Devi, so we're in a good spot now, and I'm waiting for them to Necro immediately before I summon Kaiku, because they know I have it. But they don't. So I summon the Kaiku, and I swing. Can't remove Necro, so I will do it for him. And I'm not worried about Plague because he has 0 cards in his hand, so when he draws for turn, he's only... What's he going to do? Stack it? So 1, 2, 3... Yeah. Yeah, so we get the Dark Creator out of there instead. Maybe so that... He also, we know he has a return set. That's a big part of why I didn't want to put any other returnable monsters in there. Yeah, if I put Plague, if I remove... Yeah, that's the real reason. If I remove Plague with Kaiku, and he flips Return with Necro, Elfin, this like that actually just gives them plays, right, to synchro and stuff, and we don't want to do any of that. So we don't. We swing, and we're getting darks out of there. And now I'm actually going to put the Plague, because I know this is a new card. He flipped Legacy already, so this is the return. So I'm okay getting Plague out of the game now, because if I cast the return, no matter what, the card is leaving, right? So unfortunately for me, the other card is deck heavy. So he actually does get some value off of the return, but definitely like not enough by any means to feel like this is an equivalent exchange. So now he has actually nothing, literally like nothing to my 6 cards, and he draws an Orlaris. So no good game from my opponent. What do you expect when someone loses? Why would they ever say good game? Hope you guys are enjoying the video. Talking like a son of a bitch right now. A lot of my Tony Jackpots mannerisms are coming out. I've been on TikTok a lot, making my arcade content of me playing claw machines mostly, and on there my name is Tony Jackpots, at Tony Jackpots. Follow me if you'd like. If you want to hear me talk like a fucking paisan and talk about the claw machine, then that's where you can fucking find me. Hakeem Lax, I guess we're just going to go through all these. You guys don't want to see the loss, though, but I'm just kidding. It was against Glads. It was a pretty rough one. Maybe we won't go through all these. Maybe just like a couple more. Maybe we'll play a live one. Don't show his hand, though. Alright, what do we got? Double Treeborn, opening hand, perfect. We set dupe, we set Wing Blast. No salvage. Dupe gets swap. 1 for 1. Yeah, I don't want to like make this an hour long, but I definitely want to. Okay, doesn't even attack. I was kind of hoping he was gonna skill drain on the summon of the Swap Frog, and then when he didn't, I just had to send a Swap Frog because I opened Double Treeborn, and he's probably like, damn. So I 1 for 1 pitch a Treeborn. He has Oppression set. Luckily for me, I have Wing Blast set, so hopefully we never have to special summon again for the rest of our lives. Just kidding, for the rest of this game. Going in, no skill drain. I'm not showing you what he has because I don't know what he has. So I could have attacked with that, but I'd rather attack with a Unifrog first. I'd rather get the back rows off the field, and it's a Nightmare Wheel. Alright, these games don't really need to be shown. Top deck Suppression. Put that sweet Morphing Jar back in your hand. I'll take 8 for the Oppression here. It's actually kind of dumb, but I think we're free to put this back. Using a Fiendish Chain, my Flip-Flop Frog. I'm going to Kai's and get that card out of the field for sure. Isn't a skill drain this time, so perfect. It's Morphing Jar, no effect. Thwing for 24. This is nice. Damage. A little greedy. A little damage for you. What is this? I mean, I'm what are we even talking about right now? I'm not even. You guys just watch this one. You guys just think about my plays. Skill drain a Swap Frog. Could have attacked. Would have been another nice 1,000, right? Look at this with the Dust Tornado. Boom, bounce it back. There goes your Nightmare Wheel. We're loving it. It's saying Gweet, son of a bitch. Ooh, the Metal Reflect. We got Torrential. We got Dust, Zoma, the Spirit. A little nerve-wracking. Boom. Can't respond to it. Can't chain Torrential. Can't chain Dust. Taking 78. Can we get our little ass out of this one? They're gonna attack in the Gores. They're still gonna swing in the Gores. Great card to draw. Unifrog MVP. I'm thinking get 1 off there if we can. Sure can. It's a good one. That's a good one. Ooh, those are good ones. Not worried about that Yuri. I know he can't really attack. I want to leave that Zoma on the field because I want to negate his effect that does damage to me. I'm actually not 100% sure of this ruling because when you swap, you bounce for cost. So I'm not sure if Lad would negate the effect there or when you try to perform the extra normal summon. But I still just let my opponent have that, and I said my bad, and I took the damage off. So yeah, Lad very good against trap decks. I actually ended up playing, this kid also was playing like the same trap deck, I think, which I was completely baffled by because I'm just like, before bed, play a couple games, and what are the odds I'm playing this new deck that I like so much, and I'm playing against like a trap deck, you know, so let's go through it quickly. I won't say much. Just pluses, heavy, you know, cards. Still not doing a ton. No Treeborns to Monarch. And just waiting. Guess we gotta go for it a different way. We're chilling. There's a nice water monster. Love to see it. There's Sad Swarm of Locusts. I haven't seen that card since 2006. The main deck, Needle Sealing, the Solomon, the Ryza. Makes me switch my position in my seat a little bit. I pitch Treeborn for swap, bounce it back, normal summon, flip-flop set. I feel like I did it all in one motion. That was kind of weird. Wow, we're pretty behind now all of a sudden. This got kind of ugly. I don't think I needed to set that flip-flop. Well, look at this big boy coming in for 19. Way to end the game. Oh, a Doomdozer. I forgot about this. Yeah, I got so nervous here. And he hit the Caius. And he hit the dang Caius, dude. Look at me right now. Look at the greed, dude. Look at the greed. It's the greed that gets you. It's not the win cons. It's the lose cons, you know? It's like, how do I lose the game right now? Bryonic wins that game. That was, I don't even know what's happening at this point. This is the content that you decided to watch today. I appreciate it very much. Excuse me. Swap Frog getting deprisoned. Not playing our heavy just yet. It looks like we're gonna hold it for a little bit. I think, what do we have set? Legacy? Legacy, no problem. Take a fat 17 here just to get the brain control off. Look at this. Look how deep I'm willing to go to commit to the Substitute combo, because it's that darn good. Triple Dupe Frog. I even don't want anything to resolve, so perfect time to draw that. So maybe I was digging myself in quite the hole, even though they couldn't attack. This was definitely going to start going in. We drew that at a good time. This is literally the same thing. You could change, you could flip. You could change, you could flip. You could change, or you could flip. Alright, so those are not real games, right? Akayo. 3 more for you guys. the power of the frogs. I feel like this is taking long enough that we probably won't do a live game, but hope everyone's doing well in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have to say this to my friends. This is not where I want them to hear this, but if I don't text back or something, like, I'm terrible with stuff. I'm terrible with texting back. I'm terrible at Messenger. I never open Messenger. I never go on Discord, so I definitely have a bunch of messages on there that I have not responded to from months ago. I'm happy the Edison community is thriving and still going on. That makes me happy, and regardless of if I'm watching from afar or not, even though I probably am, just know that my heart is in the game, and the game isn't within me, and I love you guys, man. I love you guys, man. No, I'm just happy that Yu-Gi-Oh is thriving, seriously, and I love the game, and I'm happy that it's doing so well. And my buddy told me that the Edison Nationals was like the biggest turnout, like the biggest demand for Edison cards, and just crazy support for Edison. And we just got the sub reprint, obviously, and just so much good support for old Yu-Gi-Oh, and I appreciate that. So dare I give a friggin' shout out to Konami even for doing all that? Thanks for acknowledging us. And I gotta send some texts out to my close ones that I haven't gotten back. And so I apologize to them, and I'll apologize to you guys through better means too. And I hope everyone had a great time at Nationals. I should have said that way earlier on, but the kid gets right down to business, man. There's no time for la-di-da. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see what we're doing here. Swap. Don't have to swing. I'm going to swing. Take a stack. What are you going to do? See what it is. If it's Raikou, that's fine. If it's Hamster, they have a Raikou on the field. At least we're not getting Caius, right? So we got a nice little frog mirror here. The race. I'm going to Raigeki break here, not trying to lose this race. Dust Shoot's a great card to draw, especially in this match. The damage. Now, Tony. Why you do that? Simply because of Tragodia. If you swing with the highest monster first, and they gores, then you can't get rid of either the token nor gores. If you attack with sub first and they trag, you can't get over it with either of these monsters, and you did 100 damage. So if you attack with Swap Frog and they drop trag, you can't get over it with either of these, but you did 900 more damage. And if you attack with this first and they drop gores, then you can get over the token with Death Frog. So the best case scenario in a situation like this, in my opinion, is to attack with Swap Frog first. And I'm still going to attack with Death Frog at the end. We're trying to win this race right now. And we have Avarice Chunk, and we have this nice loop set up. So knowing that we have Dust Shoot and even another Disruptive Trap potentially, I feel like we're in a really good spot to deal with any Monarch that they may have to follow a Gores. Should they have the Gores, normally, my number one rule, don't attack into Gores if you don't have anything for it. And sometimes it's hard to not live by that rule, but you gotta. You will lose too many games. I'm not saying you're going to lose more games than you're going to win playing like that, but you're going to feel like doo-doo when you lose a game because you attacked into a Gores and didn't have protection. Don't let Gores beat you. Don't do that, We have something to think about. This is the end of the game. This is the end of the game. But what would we have done with the Treeborn coming back? Probably this, right? What else? Terraforming, Lad does nothing, Duplock does nothing because we have this. They're at 26. Yeah. I think that's the game, right? That makes sense. I forgot about this game. I knew it was going to be a funny moment when it happened. That's the game. Lemon Man Yum. Alright, took a loss. Gotta show it. What kind of player would I be if I didn't show you? These are all the games I've played so far with the Dream Frog deck. Also, the name Dream Frog is the most badass thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Dream Frogs? That's insane. Alright, let's take this one nice and fast. Query double back row. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. That dupes, that mirror. Oh, the rescue cat. Look at the way this game is gonna go. You got it. And I don't really want them to see what I'm playing. I don't want them to side for frogs when I know I'm not coming back from that game anyway. If you want, just to make you all feel better about it. I feel fine about doing that. But we could even look at the hand if we want to see what they had set. Sometimes that's Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Mirror Force, Deep Prison, Wild, Bottomless. So no Chariot. Actually, super reckless of them to play like that. Very, very reckless. But I didn't have it, so the game, in my mind, the game's done, right? Okay, so let's try it again. Now they know what we're playing, but let's see what they sided, right? Cyber Dragon, good against frogs, right? That's why you don't give them the knowledge sometimes. Is playing that game out worth giving them the knowledge? The small chance that I have to come back in game one worth giving them the knowledge of properly siding? In Glads, when you're down a game, most likely. Now they have Cyber Dragon. So game two's looking decent. Frog stuff. Love Fishboard. Love it. I keep thinking that I'm going to be able to Formula Synchron, but that's not yet. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, and this is Edison format. Look at that nice card that we side decked in for Gladiator Beasts. Did that a little backwards. My opponent could have been a jerk about it, but he wasn't, luckily, so. I'm still even going to play this slowly now. I could have put Lad on the field, but I didn't. I'm still going to play it slowly. And now we want to end the game. Alright, so they scooped to Lad, so good. So now I'm sure they're putting in real cards. Game 3. But I can't show you what they is because, you know. Okay, I'll show you. What do we got? A Chariot, a Solemn, a Chariot. Alright, so like the best possible cards you could have, right? With a Test Tiger, a Bestie, a Quest. There is 4,000 for a Chariot. Alright, it's a double Chariot set. Solemn is the brain control. Needs to keep a Glad on the field for the Chariot. I was going to go Brain Con, probably attack for 16, summon Substitute, use the effect. They Solemn that. I set some cards. They set a monster, and I'm thinking here now. What am I thinking? I could have Wing Blasted, put this back. But that's kind of dumb, right? No, that doesn't make sense to put this back. You want to put this back because he already set a monster, so he wouldn't be able to attack. So if I dust this, what is my thought process? Where am I going with this? Oh, I'm putting the Gizzurus back. Oh, I'm putting the Gizzurus back. So that's a tough one that I had to get rid of Sub, but I felt like that was the only thing to do to protect myself from getting ready R-Read. Because if I go swap and send, and then I have Substitute in my hand, but no Raigeki break, and they ready Ari, then I lose my Treeborn, and then I just have a swap frog and a Substitute, and the Substitute's doing literally nothing at that point. So I make a tough call to get rid of the Substitute. Why did I Dust Tornado that back row? Solemn is gone. He sets a monster. I go Dust Tornado your back row. I'll probably leave this in the description when I figure out why I actually did that. What on earth was I thinking? Maybe a trap stun? I Dust Tornado 1, they chain Trap Stun, I chain Wing Blast to the Equesti. If it's not Trap Stun and it goes to the graveyard, then when he makes Gizarus, then I just Wing Blast it back. I guess that's exactly what happened, so maybe Trap Stun is what I was thinking of. If I come up with a different answer, or if anyone else wonders why, please let me know. So, they set Young Trap Hole next to Chariot with Test Tiger. My turn, I draw the sub. Ooh, I drew him. But no Treeborn in grave, unfortunately. So the first thing we have to do is establish Treeborn in the grave, and then we just hope that they don't draw a Gladiator Beast monster. This is how Yu-Gi-Oh is sometimes. My opponent went first, their 2 cards, a Test Tiger and a Chariot, to my 2 cards, a Raigeki breaking a Substitute. Yes, the Yu-Gi-Oh Guardians shined a light on me and gave me another Substitute. Unfortunately, we didn't have Treeborn, so we get Treeborn in there for the cost of losing a Swap Frog, and then my opponent top decks a Gladiator Proving Ground. And that hurts. That really hurts. Because now we're not out of the game. And they thought about this for a minute. So much so that I was just like, you good? Taking like 45 seconds. I have taken like 1,000 seconds to make a play. But I was like, no, I get why they did it though. And I even feel badly for giving them that thumbs up after like 45 seconds. I was just like, you take the Bestiary to ensure that it's in grave if I Raigeki break, or you take something else and then get Bestiary and pop my back row. But they make an interesting play and go for Bestiary, and if they attack here and I guess they get a quest and get a second War Chariot. I feel so bad. I shouldn't have given them the thumbs up, dude, after, even if it was like a amount of time. But what if they were not thinking, they walked away from their computer, and I just had to make sure. Don't overthink it, Tone. Don't overthink it. I didn't say anything mean. I just gave them a simple thumbs up. That's all I did, okay? That's all I did. Take me away, officer, here. We have to Raigeki break. Long story short. See the anxiety? See, you guys, I'm working on it. I really am. So, okay, same situation. I still don't know what this is. Chariot and Tiger. I didn't know that they said double Chariot turn 1 next to the Solemn. We gotta draw something good. Unfortunately, we draw a Lad. And now this could be really good if we draw a Salvage next turn. So again, praying they don't draw a Gladiator Beast. They don't. They draw Shrink. They pass. This is the turn. I draw Swap Frog. That's actually pretty good because now we get a second Treeborn in grave. And I can't leave him on the field. I can't do it. I probably should have left him on the field so that we can Lad. That might have been the best play. But they draw it. They draw it. Son of a bitch, they draw it with the Tiger, and you know what that means. Secutor ends the game. Secutor's gonna get Rediari. Or, not Rediari, I'm sorry. Probably Laquari in a quest, right? And then he's gonna make Herc with double Chariot set. And I needed to know what I was drawing, and it was Torrential, so Herc with double Chariot against Frogs. I mean, I'm not playing out of that. So we tried our best. We tried. We did what we had to do. And sumimasen for the thumbs up. Alright, one more. So we lose to Glads. Tough matchup. Tough game. Couple nice wins versus our trap decks, our flip monster, our Uria decks. And here we go, the final match. And I'm with Pot of Avarice in my hand. I'm just gonna go sick. And if at any point you think I did anything here wrong, because I also have Salvage in my hand, feel free to tell me. Not gonna do anything yet. Nice Dust Shoot. I'm gonna do that in the standby. I want to put this stuff back first and make sure I leave a Substitute or 2 in there so I could salvage them back and try to Unifrog that back row. Just econ, no problem. Alright, so let's slow it down for a second now. And I was actually thinking right here to wait. I was like, if my opponent has econ, because I saw the Treeborn, I was like, they could econ, tribute Treeborn, and then I chain Dust Shoot. And I might have pulled the trigger too quickly on this, because I did think they could have another econ. And if they do econ and do that, then they waste their econ, right? I mean, they're probably going to play it this turn regardless. But nah, I don't know. Yeah, let me know what you think about that one, too. Let me know what you think about that one. I put Ryza back. I don't want to get... I mean, Lad does nothing, and Caius is... I mean, we're still in just an unbelievable spot here, right? Even if they break all this up. So there's one dupe, there's two dupes, there's three dupes. They clear the board, right? But they have a Lad in their hand, and that's kind of ass. So we draw a Death Frog, not great. And I'm actually going to do something a little silly here. I want their Treeborn. They didn't summon it with swap, right? They set the Treeborn, so I don't want them to have this. So I'm actually going to get that out of there. I'm going to bang out. And now we went first. We have 5 cards, including 2 Treeborns in the grave, to their Lad and mystery cards. They do nothing. I'm just going to beat for 19 right here. If it scores, next turn we have junk. The Lad is never doing anything. They draw another dead card. And I go for a game. I decide to go for a game. I decide that's the turn, and I don't want to play it passively anymore. Oh, what are we doing with this? Well, don't look at that. I always forget to hit that shit. Got some swaps. See a Trag. Set a Wing Blast. I'm straight with taking the damage. I'm straight, because I want to hold. Well, they actually bounce that back with swap. Going in, no back row. That's good for us. So give them a Dupe Frog on top of their deck. I always like to set up Vanity's Fiend, and we know that they have Trag in their hand. So now we know they have Swap, Trag, Treeborn. I shouldn't have done that with the cursor over it. Swap, Trag, and Treeborn. But they also have a lot of other stuff that Vanity's Fiend is very good against. So you could Caius, get the Dupe Frog, but what is that really, accomplishing? Because you want to win the race, and we're already down a lot. So if I swing for 24 and they drop either one of those, we're losing anyway. So in this game, I feel like Vanity's Fiend shuts your opponent down by far the most and buys you the most time. So they really need a good card right now to play out of this. I mean, they have Pot of Avarice, so I guess they don't really need something. They draw another Battle Fader. That's insane. Could it be another game won by Vanity's Fiend? They top that Karma Cut. They have to discard a card. And gotta swing. What can we do? Hope it's nothing. It's something. That's unfortunate, but they don't really have a good follow-up, luckily for us. So I'm going to start doing what I can to okay, that's nice. Ooh, tone. Ooh, baby. Little Fishboard Trickery. Tribute for Caius. Get the Caius back in my hand. Hope we can just go in with that. But when you put swap in defense, and this happened playing against Fraser Smith at YCS Philly in a fun game. He was playing Frog Monarch, I was playing my Diva Frog, and I said, well, we talked a lot about different frog stuff, but I did this play, and I special summoned a swap in defense, and then he summoned swap, and I was like, actually, in the mirror match, putting it in attack mode is better. I didn't want to take the damage right here, but I should have put it in attack mode, because what's he going to do? If he brings back Treeborn and tributes for a Monarch, I'm taking the damage anyway, so I put that in defense, and now I just lost my swap frog. He would have went swap frog and bang out, right? So that was a mistake. I just gave my opponent a free card for no reason when I was going to take damage anyway. So that was a mistake. So now, we're a little behind in life. We're definitely behind in cards. Beautiful Pot of Avarice. My opponent has Gores and Trag, so I'm trying to be mindful of all that. We're drawing really well. And I'm actually not going to attack. I'm just going to set up as best as I can. And now my opponent is going to do the same thing. So, I mean, we literally have a moment right here where there are 5 Dupe Frogs on the field. That is almost the maximum amount of Dupe Frogs that could be on a field in Yu-Gi-Oh! But I feel like I'm in a good spot here. Even not knowing my opponent's hand, I feel like I'm in a good spot. Triple Dupe. And I have 2 Caius, and we know they have Trag, and they're not really putting Monarchs on the field, right? So, they put Mandy's Fiend on the field, it literally cannot do anything. Take a Bang out. Gonna see the Raigeki break. And I'm just gonna set Mirror Force in case they have something. They don't draw 3rd Caius. And right there, actually, I remove that. They take 1,000. On the 1,000, they could actually drop their Gores and inflict 1,000 back to me. They opt not to do that, and I'm okay with swinging right here because if they drop the Gores or the Trag, and they drop Trag and then pitch a Monarch to take this, which I hope they do. If they pitch a 2 to take one of these, that's kind of bad. Mirror Force is protecting me, right? So I put my foot on the gas a little bit, and I elect to swing. They drop the Trag first while they have more cards in their hand. Treeborn comes back. They're going to take a 2. They're going to swing. Now I'm going to Mirror Force. Going to get that Treeborn out of there. Now they have no more Treeborns. No, that's a lie. They still have a Treeborn. That was the first game with the Caius. So I'm going to get that out of there. I get my Dupe Frog effect to get Young Swap back. And now I'm going to go into Gores, feeling fine. I still have Dupe. I don't want a Torrential, but we got Trag, we got Gores. This has to attack this, this attacks this. And then we have Junk, we could go Goyo over it. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. Well, if he doesn't summon, and then I can't Torrential, then I can't Goyo over it. So maybe attacking wasn't right. But I'm thinking to myself, he can't clear both of these Caius, so I might be able to summon swap, priority bounce this back, and then activate Torrential, and then when my Treeborn comes back, I could Caius Soul Exchange of Vanity's Fiend. I don't know, it's kind of dicey, actually. I don't know. Yeah, let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. We're talking it out. But I am getting Dupe's effect, so I do get another monster back, so I can still... Yeah, we're chilling. Alright, so there attributes a token. Alright, so it works out. But, yeah, if Dupe goes and we get swapped, so we could still pitch, swap, junk, bring back... We can still Goyo. Okay, we can still Goyo. But it doesn't come to that because he goes to Caius that. And I draw a wonderful card. Trag and Gores are gone. And we don't get to use it, unfortunately. It didn't matter. My opponent has a Crow, and 1,300 attack points is enough to win the game. I kind of thought they were going to have Fader because we saw Fader a bunch of times, but yes, in the mirror match, we grinded this out pretty nicely. This deck is pretty damn grindy, I will say, and in the Frog Mirror, it's nice. I haven't played Hero Frogs with this deck yet, but I have a good feeling about it. As good as you can versus that deck, it's pretty good, but this is a really, really solid deck. I love Frog Trickery. I can't say that enough. I love all of you guys for watching. Thank you so much, as always, for all the support. And I'm still here. I'm still playing Yugs. I'm still gaming. Believe that. I hope you're all doing well. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.